into the equalization world, and I wanted to feed you a new way of adjusting the sound, and in a creative way and very easy way, and you know, I wanted to bring something that could be used on an everyday basis by all mixing engineers. So that's why I came up with the character parameter. So the character parameter adjusts the shape of your standard equalization curve. So you can go from the neutral curve to the water curve, and so you can see that the water curve actually flattens the top of the regular curve. So that's very interesting to manage in a very transparent way the resonance of your sound. And on the other side you have the fire curve, which does the opposite. So the fire curve brings some more energy in the center of the curve, so it's very useful to have focused and really steep modification of the sound. So now let me play a little drum loop, so you can really hear the effects of the water curve. Let me play that. So this is my drum loop, right? And so I'm gonna put a bell boost. So here, you know, we have more high frequencies, but we also have more resonance at the top of the curve. So now I'm gonna bring down the character parameter to the water, and just listen to how the resonance change in the sound. And I'm gonna switch from neutral to water, so it becomes even more obvious. So you see that you can still have the same spectral modification, spectral tonal change, but you change the way that your resonance are managed by the EQ, and that is very interesting because, for instance, so let's keep this drum loop. Okay, so let's add a little bit more high frequencies, and let's add some bass. Here we go. So we have our EQ, and just with a single slider, the character parameter, we can control the whole color, the whole character of the EQ shape. So we can hear tighter lows, we can hear less resonance in the highs, and that is very useful in a mastering situation for vocals, you know, acoustic instruments and so on. So, you know, I thought about this EQ to be your everyday EQ and to have a lot of productivity and really fantastic tools to go quickly when equalizing, right? And so another thing that I like is the strength parameter. So the strength parameter is just very simply an advanced dry wet control. So you can, for instance, so you do your EQ on this, still on this drum loop. You adjust your resonances, and then you can adjust the amount of the whole EQ here, and you can even boost all effect of the EQ. So that's very quick, you know, you don't have to adjust again the gains and to tweak again the things and to say, you know, I'm gonna modify my EQ and blah, blah. You just have to, you know, do your EQ, modify your sound, and then you have two sliders to adjust very quickly what you just did. And what is very convenient too is that, for instance, you can rename, you know, bass body. You can rename the band bass body and loop clarity. You can rename those bands, but then you can come back 2 weeks after, you know, on your mix, and so you can really quickly get back to this equalization, adjust again your resonances, adjust again your strengths, and that's really quick. And also I would like to mention the air band, which is a very easy way to adjust the high frequency without resonances, without, you know, harshness. It's very smooth. And we also have the earth band. So the earth band may look as a simple filter, but actually it's not. It's a very complex filter with phase, very specific phase, which is kind of an adjustable transformer. And this phase behavior and that transformer behavior, you know, gives always some really cool vibe, really big bass, and without being boomy. And that's what's very important, because sometimes when you have just a shelf in your bass, you hear some boomy phasing issues and so on. Here with the earth parameter, it's very simple, one knob, and you can boost anything to give more sub bass, more body to any of your sound very quickly, very naturally, and it will never sound boomy. And also just a quick thing about the earth band, the fire mode. So the fire mode is very interesting to have very steep adjustment, because you can see here that you know, when you have a very steep boost, here at the top of the curve there is a lot of resonances, and it means ringing. It means something, you know, phase issues and so on. And with the fire curve, what is very interesting is for the same amount of boosting, you actually have a smoother top and you have less energy on the side. This means, you know, more focused and a tighter sound, and that is very interesting for bass drum, you know, attack of snare drums, you know, to enhance just a little bit of the frequency part of the attack that you want. And a lot of cases when, you know, you often struggle with tight cues, but it resonates too much, or it's still too broad, but you want to go too steeper because it will resonate too much, and so on and so on. Here, the water curve, the fire curve solve all that problems by being steeper and tighter while regarding the phase response. Any question?
Yeah, the only question that I have is just on the fire curve. How do you deal with phase issues? So how do you make sure that it's not going out of phase on such a steep boost?
That's what I was explaining. So for instance, let's compare
from a programming perspective.
Absolutely. Let's compare the two curves. So okay, so I'm gonna. Here we go. Here, so we can compare those two curves. We can see that here at the top you have a pretty steep resonance, and I may lower a little the resonance of this one, so for better comparison. But see, so you on the fire curve, you still have less energy on the side, right? You can see that on the side there is more sound modification here, right? But on the side there is it's here it's at zero, and here there is still some energy, right? And but at the top of the curve the resonance is smoother, so it means also a smoother phase response. And not only it's a smoother phase response, but we made the filter to study the phase. I mean, we worked on the phase and the shape of the curve at the same time, and that's why we could achieve that great phase response, very tight response for both the water parameter and the fire mode. And you know, everything is designed in order to be natural and to be very tight and very coherent in phase.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.